This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Yeah.
How
long have you been bookkeeping for?
About 8-9 years.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What made you get into it?
Oh yeah.
To start.
Yeah. So a buddy of mine was working with a guy in Staten Island, and he needed another collector, right? So essentially, this guy doesn't want to be reaching out to people.
Now, when you say collector, do you mean enforcer?
The bone collector.
Just to cash, like another guy, just to collect cash, place bets.
They got money coming from a lot of different places, and they'll give you a cut if you are okay with collecting, whether that's in person, whether that's electronically. So we knew I liked to bet, and he said, "You want in?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was 24, 25. I was like, "It's a nice way to make some extra money."
Absolutely.
So that's how I kind of got into it. And I was doing that for a couple of years. And then I ended up bringing on. So what I ended up doing was, knowing I was making money, I was like, why don't I start recruiting people, right? Like people, I meet them at the bar, a friend of mine, because that was before DraftKings and FanDuel, right? So people were always looking for something to place bets.
Did you see it as like a business opportunity, or was it just like, it's a side job?
For me, it was a side. At that moment, it was a side thing. But as it started to build, like I started bringing on 10, 20, 30, and I got up to like 50 or 60 people I brought on. And I had like a legit, every 2 weeks I get like an Excel sheet he'd send to me with like what was down, what I needed to collect, yada yada. I had everyone's numbers, right? So like it was a well-oiled machine. But when it got to that point, the wheels start turning a little bit about like what could be next,
What was that point? Like, was it a
like
bet? Was it a certain financial that you had, and it was like, I can do this?
It was mainly like I got up to 50 or 60 people, and I was like, why can't I just take these and run it myself? It's manageable, right?
These were your people that you collected.
But like, this is a whole nother subject, but like, it gets a little bit dicey when you have friends, right? Like if you're bookkeeping for a friend, like I kind of had to draw a line in certain respects. So I almost did like friends of friends and like a couple friends that I trusted.
You have morals.
Exactly,
you wouldn't just take anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to that point, and I was like, maybe, and I reached out to another guy, and I was like, if I took these 50 or 60, would you be able to help me with this? And he said, yeah. So I called this dude in Staten Island, and it wasn't a pleasant conversation.
I bet.
He was not happy, and I actually was a little bit concerned that he was going to do something about it, to be honest.
You were resigning, basically?
Yeah. Well, not only I was resigning, but I had probably like 5 or 10 whales on there that were betting, 5, 10 a game, thousand, right? So like, big time.
That's big money, yeah.
Hitters, but like, again, I brought them on, right? So they technically were me. I brought them to him. He was grateful, whatever. But I was like, man, like, you can't blame me for this. Like, I'm going to try and do it myself. Instead of making 20%, I can make 100%, right? 80%, right? Like, and can have a real big impact.
You're investing in yourself.
I got a question.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.